Welcome to the Close the Chapter podcast. I am Kristen Boyce, a licensed marriage and family therapist with a private practice, Pathways to Healing Counseling. Through conversations, education, strategies, and shared stories, we will be closing the chapter on all the thoughts, feelings, people, and circumstances that don't serve you anymore and open the door to possibilities and the real you. You won't want to miss an episode, so be sure to subscribe. Welcome to this week's Close the Chapter podcast. I am so excited about today's episode because in any work I do, I'm helping people become more of who they are and letting go of what people think of them. We're so fixated on fear of being criticized, judged, shamed, rejected, that we have lost a sense of who we are based on our conditioning and what we were told is good and bad. And so we have disconnected from ourselves. And that's why I love therapy. Not going to go on and on about therapy. However, we are going to talk about authenticity. What does it mean? What are the 4 key components of becoming more of yourself? And I love the name of this modality that my guest, Judith Maros, has coined, authenticity therapy. I was like, yes, that's what I love. That's what I do. And so I was so curious to talk to her. And it was such a spirit-giving conversation that I think you're going to get a lot from it. She talks about the 4 components of being authentic and how to start loving yourself. And that sounds so cliche, but man, do we have a lot of blocks. Now, we're not good enough. We're too fat, thin, ugly, stupid. I mean, oh my gosh, the thoughts that people have about themselves are brutal because we also are comparing ourselves to people on social media. And so we're never feeling good enough, ever, ever, ever. And our trauma can block us. And this was such an enlightening conversation that you're going to want to listen to it more than once. I just have a feeling you're going to want to listen to it twice or more because she drops so many pearls of wisdom that are going to speak to you. I really believe that. So let me introduce you to Judith. She is a licensed marriage and family therapist and certified hypnotherapist in private practice in Connecticut with 32 years of clinical experience. She is an AAMFT, which is basically the American Association of Marriage and Family Therapists, approved supervisor, an international trainer for psychotherapists in authenticity therapy and brief solution-oriented trauma resolution. She is the author of Apple of My Eye, The 4 Practices of Self-Love, and the originator of authenticity therapy, a new integration in the field of psychotherapy that focuses on self-love through inner child work and positive self-parenting. She is a regular presenter at major national conferences, and she really, really helped dive into what does even authenticity mean. She defines it in a way that I've never heard. I have never heard someone define authenticity this way. And I think you're going to want to ponder and sit with a lot of what she talks about. If you're on a healing journey, be sure to grab the free guide at Kristen, KRISTEN, Boyce, BOICE.com/free resources. Also, you're going to get that for free. But then you're going to join the mailing list, and therefore you won't miss any episodes. You will also get my nuggets of just shared tidbits of wisdom, hopefully, that will help you in your life. You'll be reminded that you matter, you're important, and you're lovable. And shame isn't going to take you down the shame spiral. Shame isn't going to tell you you're not good enough. Well, it wants to, but hopefully we're going to anchor on loving yourself and some truths because she drops some big wisdom that I like how she frames it. It's what I believe, that the inner work is key to everything in your life and key to happiness. So without further ado, here is my enlightening conversation with Judith. Welcome to this week's Close the Chapter podcast. I am so excited to talk to my guest today. We hear the word authenticity thrown out a lot lately. I use it personally because I help clients become more of themselves. So we're going to be diving into what is authenticity therapy with the founder. Judith, welcome to the Close the Chapter podcast.
Thank you, Krista. It's an honor to be here.
I am so thrilled you're here to talk about authenticity therapy. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself and then how you created authenticity therapy.
Well, since we only have 45 minutes, the short version is that when I'm a psychotherapist, as you know, and since actually 1993. And when I opened my first private practice in 2000, I went around in town, introduced myself to doctors and psychiatrists, and one of them asked me what my angle is in therapy. And I couldn't quickly blurt it out. So what fell out of my mouth was, I don't know, but it works, which I was so ashamed of afterwards. I'm supposed to know what I'm doing, if I'm soliciting referrals. So that shame prompted me to get to the bottom of why it works, because it was working. I just didn't know why. I really didn't. And I knew it was on my big blue eyes, like yours. So from then on, I asked each and every client in my room, how come you're feeling better? And I wrote it down on a yellow sticky note, very briefly, whatever they said. Is it something I said? Is it something that happened to you? Is it something you did? Whatever it is, tell me. And I left all my presuppositions behind me. And I was looking really for the pattern. And I did this for 7 years because that's how long it took for the pattern to emerge and fully develop. And what emerged, and again, this is not my invention. This is a discovery. I discovered the underlying pattern in why people are well when they're well. And so that's the long and short of it. And I summarize it in my book, The Apple of My Eye, The 4 Practices of Self-Love, because it boils down to self-love in a very specific way. 4 things that you can and must do, not more, not less, in order to be well. As it turns out, those 4 things are really the definition of inner guidance, which is how to listen to your body's messages and follow through with them, so that you base your decisions and your choices in life and your actions and your words on the truth of how you truly feel. Not what you think you should feel, not what you think you should be like, not on anything other than the truth. Nature made truth in your body about where you're at and what you need to feel better. And when you do that, when you do nothing more, nothing less than that, then you're living based on inner guidance. And inner guidance is actually the definition of authenticity from Greek. Auto something, inner guidance. And turns out, to my greatest shock as well back then, that authenticity, inner guidance, self-love, listening inward, and all of that is synonymous to health. There is no health without it. There is no health despite of it. There is no health otherwise. And health is a funny thing because everybody's looking for happiness, right? Happiness is nothing more than what health feels like. Health feels like happiness. It feels like joy. It feels like connection with something greater than yourself, which is actually, you can call it God, or you can call it nature, or you can call it the universe, or you can call it your body, or you can call it your inner child. Connection with the truth of it all that you don't choose. It just is. Your choice is whether or not you align yourself with that. And when you do, you're choosing health, which is happiness, which is joy, which is peace, which is good relationships. And when you choose otherwise, everything falls apart or doesn't build in the first place. So that's the long and short of it.
I love how you said inner guidance is authenticity. I've never heard someone say it that way.
Authenticity, by definition, is inner guidance.
I love that because we're all trying to outsource worth and value and wisdom, and
Right?
really it lies within.
Yes.
And you have your 4 kind of key components, and you have A, B, C, D in the book.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing the ABCD? I like how you broke it down by ABCD because I think it's easier for the brain to remember.
Absolutely. We all need handles to remember and to be able to apply things that really matter and make a difference in our lives. So ABCD is an acronym for those 4 practices that are both necessary and sufficient for health outside of luck. Outside of all the things that we can't control. These 4 things we can control and we must, or take charge of, or take responsibility for. So A is for paying attention to your body's sensations, because the body doesn't lie and it tries desperately to inform us in real time about the truth of how we really feel right now. When your stomach gargles, do you want to be hungry? Do you choose to be hungry? Is it the right time to be hungry? Is it convenient for everybody else? Is it convenient for you? None of that matters. It just gargles because it's the truth. You are hungry. You see, by the same token, the body informs us through sensation in real time about every other feeling we have, not just physical feelings, all feelings, sadness, heavy heart, anxiety, tension in your stomach or in your chest, right? Anger, heat, sensation in the body informs. And when we pay attention and we know how to translate those sensations into usable information about what to do now, even what to think. Our thoughts are not, they're automatic, but we can choose them. We can align them with the truth. So A is for paying attention to the body sensations and accepting them as the truth.
That's key, accepting them as the truth.
That's right. And you see, people can be tripped up right there, right at the very first step, by not paying attention for whatever reason and or not accepting what they find as the truth. And you see that nothing is more valuable or more true than the truth. Truth is like a diamond. It cuts through everything. We might as well just get it diamond.
Yes.
So accepting it, yes, it's absolutely key. And there are exercises we can do to get ourselves to accept. So that's A. Once you're aware of sensations in your body because you paid attention and you noticed and you accepted, the next thing to do is to not freak out, right? Because it can be intense. And in our culture, we are taught to be externally focused, not internally, and basically to not tolerate discomfort. You go to the doctor, they do everything in their power. Our whole medical establishment does everything in its power to take the discomfort away, which is a good thing in a way. However, they do it before interviewing the body about what it's trying to tell you. So it disconnects us in the first place from our source of truth, from our authenticity, from our health. So once you're aware of sensation in your body, for example, or a restriction in your stomach, if it's intense, very often people quickly try to distract themselves because they don't know what to do with it, because it's too loud, because it's not convenient, it's the wrong time, it's the wrong place. That's not what I'm supposed to do. That's selfish. Millions of reasons why. Or it's too intense and I can't withstand it and I'm not accustomed to feeling per se. So what do? We either shut it down effectively, not feeling this, by distraction, by whatever, or taking something, right? Drinking something, shooting something, buying something, working on something, running somewhere, millions of things.
Getting on our phones, scrolling.
You named it, absolutely. Our whole culture is out to disconnect us. That's truth. Probably because it's profitable to do so, but also because of misguided religious teachings and cultural tenets. And there are a lot of misguided and misinterpreted teachings in our culture. So when you feel intensely, if you shut it down or you attack yourself for it, if you neglect yourself or abuse yourself in the midst of the discomfort, you're not going to pay attention. You are going to react to it, okay? Instead of responding to it. How do you respond? That's B. B is take a deep breath. B is stay present with the sensation long enough for it to inform you, as opposed to evade it, run away from it, shut it down, abuse it, or neglect it. B is really a catch-all for a lot of different things that we can do, other than breathing as well, to be present, to enable ourselves to actually feel and experience, as opposed to think or do. Feeling and experiencing is a whole challenge for a lot of people here, right? Not everybody in the world, but in the US of A, absolutely, and in Europe as well. Feeling flies in the face of, for example, the Protestant value of the more you work, the better Christian you are. You either work and do or you feel. You either think or you feel. To cultivate the ability to be present with how you feel, that's a pivotal key component in health. So now B, you have breathed, you have stayed present, you are calming and soothing yourself long enough because it's in the experience of that churning in your stomach or that pressure, whatever it is that I said. It's in that experience that C, you can communicate with that experience because the answers are in that experience. The body knows this is what it means. The body knows the truth. Nobody knows how that is, but this is how the truth is within you. This is what that means. It's in the discomfort. You can communicate with that discomfort, but only on the hues of A and B. attention, acceptance, and self-soothing. Now you can communicate with him because now you didn't run out the door. Think of it as your inner child. The child is crying. What are you going to do? Are you going to yell at the child? Are you going to find out how they feel and what they need? Are you going to be able to help them like that? No. Are you going to run to the kitchen and cook something? No. You're disconnecting, right? Stay present. And now you can talk to that experience, to that sensation, and ask it, how am I feeling? What's the truth? How am I feeling? And what do I need to feel better? What do I need from myself? Not from them, not from my boss, my husband, my wife, my friends, my whoever, the world or God, from me. What do I need from me? What can I do or think or be like to or say to feel better? That's a whole set of skills right there as well. Each one of these steps involves some skills that you need to learn. And as you ask the body will answer. It actually does. Boom, words, images, urges, notions, thoughts. It will come to you. All you need to do is pay attention and notice, maybe even write it down, because now you're talking to the guru inside of you. And it doesn't lie. And it knows everything about you, everything that matters for your health, longevity, happiness, joy, peace, connection. That's its only agenda. Keep you alive and well. Name one more thing in the world that as its highest agenda. Not your friends, not even your parents. Nobody. That's their agenda, but they don't have access to it. You see, only you have access to it by doing A, B, C, and D. So now you know how you feel and you know what you need from yourself to feel better, what you need to say or do or think or be like to feel better. And that's a process because it's probably more than one thing. Okay. Yeah, you need you need more sleep, which is what meets the eye maybe, or more rest or a massage. But you also need to love yourself better. For example, on the other end of the scale, you need to pay more attention to yourself. You have to be kinder to yourself. So now you're going to get a lot of answers that the more you ask, the deeper the answers will be. And the more pertaining to your relationship to yourself, which is really the key to health. Your self-parenting style is what we are talking about. Are you abusive? Are you neglectful? Or are you caring to yourself? Which is usually the same as the way you will grow up. Do you want to continue in that vein, or do you need to make a change? Whole other story. And now you know how you feel and you know what you need to feel better. D, do it. Deliver to the promise. And when you do it, a very interesting thing happens. Try that. The sensation goes away. The original sensation goes away. Why? Because it was there in the first place to signal imbalance, to get your attention. That's its function. It doesn't just happen, that headache, that ear ringing. Once you have a disease, but by then a lot of these messages got lost. So the body escalates into illness and then into disease. You see, when we don't listen. This is how inner connection and positive self-parenting has everything to do with health. Make sense?
I believe that to be 100% true in my work. I mean, with clients, that the inner child work and reconnecting to self, because there's a disconnect that happens, I think. We're slowly, eventually taught to disconnect from self to with other people.
Absolutely.
To survive.
From early childhood.
It's a process of reconnection to self, which it's a deep process.
It's a deep process, but it's a very simple process. That's what the beauty in authenticity therapy is, that nobody until now, that to my knowledge, we didn't know how to be true to ourselves, how to reconnect, how to love ourselves better, why that matters even. I learned all of this from this work, and I think it's absolutely life-changing. I know it's life-changing because I've been using it, I've been teaching it, and it changes everything. It changed the whole scenario every time because it goes to the core of health. No more pussyfooting around.
Yes.
It's very powerful. And the truth is that you're a psychotherapist yourself?
Yes, I'm a marriage and family therapist.
Yeah, me too.
I love this work.
Yes. You see, so one of the fascinating things in this work is that I can only be, as a therapist, I can only be as good with my clients and as effective as I am in my relationship with myself.
Yes, that is a truth.
I can only notice what I see. If I have blind spots because I'm stuck between A and B, or B and C, or C and D, or if my clients are stuck somewhere, in fact, most people are stuck somewhere. And good therapy undoes the stuckness so that we can actually perform positive self-parenting in real time in a smooth way without hangups. But I can only help you do that if I can do it with myself. So the self of the therapist is a major component here. I have to be healthy for that. I cannot preach to you, and it doesn't work that way because I won't even see what I'm supposed to see unless I do this work myself.
And I think what you're saying is what I've experienced. I don't know how you feel. I can feel it if someone is in their authentic, and we're using this term, right? Inner power, inner guidance, inner wisdom. I think it for the client can feel it from the therapist.
Absolutely.
Their body will tell them this person is safe. This person is warm, secure. I feel like the body will tell the client if the therapist is available.
Oh, absolutely.
For this.
And the therapist can only be available if they're available to themselves.
Yes. I believe that. I teach my whole team this. Like, it's so critical. It's essential.
It's essential. And because there's always an and here, because it's such a profound approach. Marriages, relationships can only work with two partners who do this work in their relationship with themselves. Because otherwise, if I neglect my own feelings, for example, then I'll be mad at you for neglecting me, right? Then I will also neglect you and put the burden on you. You see?
So important what you're saying. It is critical. We don't talk about this enough.
Right.
So if you're not loving yourself and doing this work, you'll rely on your partner to fill that up for you. And you won't be able to give it to them either because you're not giving it to yourself.
You're absolutely right. And the irony is that a lot of times people don't do this inner work because they feel it's selfish. I'm not supposed to pay attention to myself. You know what selfish truly is? Selfish is to not do this work and put it on the other and expect them to fill in the void and to carry my burden. That's what selfish is. Very powerful. It's amazing, the depth of it and the spirituality of it, because it is truly about connection to all that is, the truth of all that is. But I need to be humble and surrender and be present with the truth and with the experience of the truth so that I may align myself with it as opposed to fight it and resist it, which is our feelings, which are guidance for health.
So how essential is the spiritual component to authenticity therapy?
It is not only essential, it is a representation of spirituality. It is a model of spirituality. This is how spirituality works. This is how interconnectedness works. My body is connected with all that is. It's not just made of the same stuff hydrogen and all. It's also intelligently communicating with all that is. And then it's intelligently communicating it to me. And I'm not a gatekeeper. I need to step down from that role. I'm not a judge of what should be true and shouldn't be true. I am a servant of truth and a facilitator with love. And love is spelled ABCD. This is the long and short of it. Everybody knows love rules everything. Truth through A, B, C, and D. Attention, breath, communication, and delivery to the truth. In my relationship to myself.
Let me just illustrate this. Let's see if I can give an example to the audience and see if I'm on target. So I was at an event with my daughter the other day, and one of the adolescent students came up and she goes, I just want to know you. There's something to me. I'm the mom. I'm like, are you talking to me? She's like, there's something in you. I'm just drawn to you. I just want to know you. This is a teenager. And I thought, wow. And I was wondering if that is what the essence is of spirituality. Like, you're the vessel for which it comes through, and it's a felt sense in the other person. It's a felt sense that they have, and they can't name it or explain it. She didn't have the word. She goes, I know this sounds really strange. And she's like, I just wanted to know you. I just felt pulled to know you. And my daughter was like, wow, this is cool. And I wonder if that's the essence of what you're saying. It's like a felt sense, a felt connection.
Absolutely. We are all connected on that, pull toward that. Love.
Yes. And if you're radiating that,
yes,
energetically in your spirit, in your body, in your soul, in your being.
Yeah, but only to the degree that you can do this work in your relationship to yourself.
Which is the key differentiator of what you're saying. The key differentiator is doing this work within yourself.
Yes.
And then it opens up, and I think there's an expansion that happens, a vessel of love, and there's an abundance of it. So you're not at a depletion of it. Now, at times you could feel like your energy is low, but you're not seeking it outside yourself.
Yes, right.
So you're not dependent on other people, whether they're available or not, to give it to you.
Right, exactly. Which leads us to really, I think, the main ailment of our present day society, which is loneliness. Loneliness has been proven to be the number one killer in America, more than smoking, more than anything, is loneliness. And loneliness is really a product of lack of inner connection.
Say it one more time just for people, because I think people think loneliness is because you don't have any people in your life.
You don't have any people or enough people in your life because you don't have you, because you're not connected with yourself. Because when you do connect with yourself in truth, in humility, and in love, and you take this work on and practice it and learn to feel and learn to trust your feelings and learn to trust yourself and love yourself just the way you are and accept yourself just the way you are. When you do that and you do the ABCD day in and day out, hour in, hour out, minute in, minute out, in real time, people are going to flock to you because they feel your energy and they resonate. And they don't have to fear you putting the work on them. They can feel safe with you. And the right kind of people will flock to you, not the wrong kind, the right kind, the ones who know how to love and respect you, just like you love and respect yourself. You see?
What you're saying is so significant because most clients that come in, they're so afraid of being alone. Let's say they're going through a heartbreak, a divorce, a separation. And like, I'm going to be alone forever. I'm never going to find anybody. And this is the narrative that they believe to be true. Like, this is it for me. I'm never going to find anybody. Or they settle for somebody because they think that's the best I can do.
And that's the stance of powerlessness, disempowerment. I have no power in making my life work is really the core message of the victim. And the truth of the matter is that you have all the power to click your life by learning how to love yourself and doing whatever it takes to overcome your stucknesses. And one of the main and this is not out of ignorance. This is not blame. Most people don't know how to do this, partly because of cultural teaching, distorted cultural tenets, moral tenets, partly because of a less than happy childhood, disconnection in childhood, and not feeling loved enough or taken care of enough or safe enough. So we learn from that and we treat ourselves the same way because that's when we learn how to treat ourselves. And partly because of trauma. And I should have said that first. Trauma gets people stuck. You can't really learn anything new in your relationship with yourself when the system has been traumatized. So the very first thing to do would be to find a really good therapist, not just any therapist, but somebody who is highly trained in resolving body memory of trauma. Because body memory of trauma is the number one culprit for people staying frozen in the way they treat themselves. And truth be told, in our profession, trauma competence is still a new thing. And even the methods that most therapists use to address trauma is talk therapy, which is the worst thing you can do because it can re-traumatize it. In fact, it will. When you talk about the horrible things that happen, your whole body remembers it and carves it deeper into body memory because now you're feeling it. Good trauma resolution is not talk therapy. There is EMDR. That's the number one.
Love it. I'm EMDR trained. So is my team.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So EMDR is the best known and rather effective, but maybe 60% of the time from what I hear. There is actually better than EMDR. There is ART, accelerated resolution therapy. And then there is BSOTR, which is what I use, which is brief solution-oriented trauma resolution. And ART and BSOTR are hard to come by.
We have people on our team that are ART trained.
Yes. And ART and BSOTR work pretty much all the time. Actually, ART is a combination of EMDR and BSOTR. We have a lot of work ahead of us. We have to actually advocate for grad schools that train therapists to teach ART or BSOTR or EMDR.
Yes.
Something to be equipped to handle trauma, which is really most people.
I always tell people coming out, I'm like, you need to get at least EMDR trained, if not, any of those modalities, or invest in one at least.
Right. Exactly.
So if someone says, I feel lonely and I think a relationship is going to be the answer to my loneliness. And they say, I just want to find somebody, because this seems to be the hyperfixation. They think the movies, what we've sold people, the romance, the fairy tale, this is how you get happy as these relationships. What do you want to say to somebody that really their mindset is that?
I would say you're right. You do need a relationship. It means the fact that you crave a good relationship means that you're healthy. And I would say, let's take a look at how well you love yourself, how well you treat yourself, because the state of your self-parenting, so to speak, is a predictor of the kind of partner you will find. You can find a partner. You can find a partner who beats you, or who drinks all the time, or who ignores you. You can find a partner if you just want to have a warm body, sure. But if you want to find a true partner, the one that you crave, the kind of lover that makes you feel connected and secure and truly cherished and loved in the world, which is exactly what you're looking for, then mind how you treat yourself, because chances are you're going to attract the same kind of partner on the outside and manifest that as an extension to your relationship to yourself. So let's heal that and watch what happens. So there is no shortcuts. We can't skip over stairs and hope not to fall. We have to do that work.
It's essential. What does authenticity therapy entail? Does it entail these 4 steps? Is it more than that? Tell us a little bit more about what that looks like.
You mean the course of therapy?
Yeah, the course of therapy. I'm just curious, what's different about authenticity therapy?
So authenticity therapy is different in some fundamental ways because it locks the whole framework into the self-parenting framework. Let's establish positive self-parenting. Anything you tell me, my client tells me, matters only to the extent that it pertains to your relationship to yourself. So, for example, your boss yelled at you. How did you feel? I felt sad and angry. What did you do with that feeling? You see, did you neglect? Did you abuse? Or did you care? And if you cared, how did you care? And where did that information come from? Did it come from your body or from your mind or from others or from your therapist or from your priest? Was it external or internal? You see? So every piece of information that comes into my office is used to lock in positive self-parenting and enable the person to parent themselves positively, parent their inner child, which is the body, which never lies, but doesn't know right from wrong. And it doesn't care. How are you going to choose with right from wrong? You see? And who's going to take the lead? And when? The parent or the child? The body or the mind? It's establishing harmony between the mind and the body. That is a fundamental difference from every other therapy work in existence. That the focus is unequivocal and it's sharp and it goes straight to the core of the issue. And because of this, it's faster therapy because we don't waste any time with anything else, really. And we use everything for this. Other than that, nothing is new. Other than that, DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, all those skills are actually part of the A, B, C, and D sub-skills that need to be taught, need to be practiced, need to be followed up on, and the person is responsible for doing the work, for actually learning how to do this. There's homework or assignment. Some people don't like this word. And especially practicing A, B, C, and D at home. So this is a highly usable technique for self-help as well. So my book is a self-help book. So you can learn it from my books how to do this for yourself. And if you cannot do it, that's probably a sign of trauma.
And then go to trauma therapy first.
And then you go for trauma therapy, yes. So my therapy is actually a combination of assessment for trauma, assessment for your relationship, the quality of your relationship to yourself in real time, assessment for where you're stuck in that relationship from A to D. And I have counted maybe 46 points of possible stuckness. And undoing stuckness is the work. And trauma resolution is part of authenticity therapy. I built it into my certification training for therapists because it's a key component for enabling the person to be able to do this work.
You've covered the gamut. You've covered it all.
One more thing. Don't forget your word.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, and at the end, you asked me for how is it? And at the end of this therapy, which is again very pointed and very focused, and because of that pretty brief, at the end of this work, the person leaves my therapy empowered with a sense of responsibility for themselves. So they don't rely on me or anybody else from that point on. And they are changed forever because that's what changes people. understanding, oh, I was looking at this from the wrong angle, or my angle was fuzzy. My lens was fuzzy. Now my lens is sharp and my angle is clear, and I know what to do.
That's the empowerment part. They know what to do outside of the session from now on. Like they have the tools within them. They have the inner guidance within them.
Yes, and they trust it.
That's the key. Yes. Yeah. I have a question that I love to ask every guest. What are the maybe couple of books that have changed your life?
Oh my goodness.
I know. I love books. I see all the books on your shelf. I'm like, I love them. So, and it could be anything that just comes to you.
Okay. Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now. The power of my book is actually the practical version of the Power of Now. It wasn't intended to be that. It turned out to be that. I actually just met Eckhart Tolle.
Did you? How was it?
It was amazing. Talking about death and dying, and it was absolutely stunning.
Oh, I bet. I bet that was
questions. It was just so. That book is on the top of the list. The Tao Te Ching, the famous Tao, written 2,600 years ago by a Chinese philosopher, Lao Tzu, my all-time favorite book. I love The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. I love an old book that's called Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain, Shakti. Shakti Gawain, Gawain. I love Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, and all her other books. And her book on how to interpret body messages. That's a very interesting addition to my courses as well.
Those are wonderful.
On and on and on.
Yes, I know. It's like it's trying to pick your favorite. You're like, oh my goodness, that's so hard because each book brings something different to you.
Yes.
Different elements.
Yes.
Is there anything you wanted to share that we did not cover that you felt like was on your heart or in your spirit or felt important to say?
What a lovely question. I think I said everything I really wanted to say. I just want to encourage everybody, and I want everybody to know that we are here for a reason. And the reason is to learn to love ourselves. That is the main reason we are on this earth. So go do it. It will change everything. It will truly change everything. Our whole reality is a mirror image of the quality of our relationship to ourselves.
I want everyone to take that in. The whole reality is a mirror image of the relationship you have with yourself.
Yes.
It's profound. So just sit with that if you're listening.
On the mirror image. Go home and fix it.
Yes.
Don't expect them to fix it for you. They can't. They came into existence in the first place because life is trying to inform us and show us through discomfort how to love ourselves better.
Oh, I love this conversation. I cannot tell you how much I have loved our conversation, our time together. I've just taken it in my spirit. I just loved it so much. Where can people find you if they're like, I loved it too? Because we'll link your book in the show notes and the newsletter. So if you're a subscriber to the newsletter, you'll also get the links. But where can they find you if they're like, I love Judith and I want to know more?
So I am not easy to find because I have discontinued my clinical practice recently to dedicate myself to partly teaching therapists because I'm thinking that the fastest and most powerful way and effective way to get the word out on this work is through therapists. So I'm doing a lot of therapist trainings. I do therapist retreats in Italy and certification trainings for therapists. I have one coming up in a month. And so I'm not available for clinical work, but I've trained quite a few therapists already in this work. I am in the process of creating actually a website so that you can find an authenticity therapist. And, but that's not done yet. So my website is www.judithmaros.com, YUDITMAROS.com. And they can also look up my book, Apple of My Eye, The 4 Practices of Self-Love.
Thank you so much, Judith, for joining us today. You're a blessing in the world and appreciate the work of transforming lives. So
and look at you, Kristen. Look at you bringing in all this information for all these people. That's amazing work.
Thank you so, so much. Thank you so much for listening to the Close the Chapter podcast. My hope is that you took home some actionable steps along with motivation, inspiration, and hope for making sustainable change in your life. If you enjoyed this episode, click the subscribe button to be sure to get the updated episodes every week and share with a friend or a family member. For more information about how to get connected, visit Kristen, KristenD boice.com. Thanks and have a great day.